So, on my last Owl House video, a bunch of y'all clued me in on even more hidden whispers within the In Between Realm. So today, I'm gonna break down what they're saying to the best of my ability. You're watching WhitneyVision, and this is the In Between Realm Decoded. This is your spoiler warning! If you haven't watched yesterday's lie yet, hit pause on this video and come back when you've built your portal. Also, before we get started, I want to shout out another Owl House fan, Nat, who was the first to find and isolate all these additional whispers. It looks like they're just starting to post their own theory videos, so def check out their channel and send some WhitneyVision love when you're done with this video. If you're unaware, while Luz is in the In-Between realm, there's a spooky voice that speaks to her if you crank up the volume. The most apparent line this voice has is "No sé that," when Luz calls upon Camilla towards the end of the episode. This is because it's actually included in the subtitles, meaning this line was very likely a part of the episode's official script. Now, these other whispers we're going to discuss actually aren't transcribed at all, and while a few are audible, there are a lot of mumbles and hisses that we won't be able to decode with 100% certainty. The cleanest way we've been able to isolate these lines is through the official soundtrack that was posted to YouTube by the series composer Brad Breek. And this brings up a note of interest, because these whispers are packaged within the OST, there's the potential that they weren't scripted by Dana and Molly Ostertag. Instead, they could just be ambient voices Breek included to set a creepy tone. Breek still works under the direction of showrunner Dana, so that's not to say that these lines aren't canon, just that there's the potential that they don't string together to form a perfect line of dialogue and are more stylistic than practical. Side quest, Breek's upload of the OST labels these sections that take part in this bizarre void as the In-Between realm, so I'm going to take this as the closest confirmation of the realm's official name that we have for now. So with that established, what whispers do we have that are audible? Well, there are two easily deciphered messages embedded in the OST. The first coincides right when Luz enters the In-Between realm and calls out for the bad girl coven. When Luz says, "Can anyone hear me?" the voice responds, "Yes."
Ira, King, Uri, can anyone hear me? Ira, King, Uri, can anyone hear me?
Holy Titan, that gives me goosebumps. The next audible line actually didn't make it into the episode's official cut, but it is still part of Breek's upload of the OST. This line would sync up around the point where Luz is freaking out over seeing her doppelganger for the first time. The voice requests that Luz stay here. That's so creepy! Maybe that's why they cut it from the final version of the episode. The other whispers are a little more loosey-goosey with their interpretations. Some are definitely Yanni versus Laurel fodder, while others are repetitions of the same whispers and sounds, including more instances of the voice calling out "No sé that."
Camila no seda of the human realm?
Some think that this line says hello when Luz first enters the realm, but personally it sounds more like an evil cackle or a mockery of Luz coughing. Then there's this line, which has multiple interpretations that don't seem to make much sense, so I'll play it a few times to give you a chance to hear each option. So on first listen, it sounds like key hat, but that's gibberish, right? Some people are hearing tia here, as in the Spanish word for aunt. I'll be honest though, neither of these options seem to be fitting to me, but this sound is repeated multiple times in the OST, so I feel like it has to be something. So after some messing around with the audio, Brett and I came up with a version of the whisper that almost sounds like cheater. Obviously, we're venturing too far into manipulating the audio at this point, so it's hard to say for certain, but part of me thinks cheater at least makes a little sense. Like, is this voice disgusted by Luz for venturing into the In-Between realm without a proper portal? It does repeat this same line when Luz attempts to use her ice glyph, so maybe the voice is calling out Luz for using magic without a bile sac? It also repeats this when Luz first uses a reflection cube, so is this voice possibly excited that Luz is breaking some sort of magical law? Moving on, after the first time the key hat, tia, cheater line is whispered, it says something that sounds to me like a key, or our key, or even okay.
Did I do something?
Alternatively, I'm also hearing a king or our king. Both a key or a king options seem plausible to me, as these could be references to the show's other hidden codes for this season. Seek the Key is the episode title acrostic, while king might be the missing piece to the hidden word code, seething seas and puppet strings he no longer dreams of. Moving forward, there's another moment in yesterday's lie that caught my ear. At the end of the episode, when Luz is reflected in the rain by Camilla's headlights, whenever Luz's projection makes contact with V or Camilla, a sound effect that mimics the whispers is cued.
Okay. Whoa.
Baby, no.
These aren't in the subtitles, nor are they in the OST, so I believe they're just part of the episode's sound design. But it is interesting to me that these sounds occur with multi-dimensional contact. So what does this all mean? I know I've got my theories. As I've speculated before, I think that it's possible that this voice is the psychic consciousness of the Titan, and it has been trapped or banished into this in-between realm. We've seen that glyph magic is useless in this realm, meaning that the Titan's physical bodily presence is absent, but it could be possible that the Titan's spirit was forced into this realm in order to sever it from its source of power. That's a Doctor Strange type play, and would make sense that long ago, the Titan's enemies couldn't overpower it, so they plotted to depower it in this manner. But perhaps this strategy wasn't without its downsides. What if this voice has been utilizing the reflection spying magic of this realm for millennia, spying on both worlds and formulating a plan of escape? This could be why so many reflection cubes are already out when Luz first arrives. Due to the mystery code, seething seas and puppet strings, I've been looking out for puppet masters all season, and that would be a fitting role for this otherworldly entity. Then there's the fact that Bellows claims to be able to speak with the Titan. Last season, I was under the impression that this was a lie, but what if he's referring to this voice? We know that sound can pass through these reflections, so could this voice possibly be visiting him? Could it be pulling his strings this whole time? I think Bellows possibly was trapped in the in-between realm, and this voice found a way to subliminally brainwash him. This was likely a long process, which is why the voice pleaded for Luz to stay in the in-between realm. I mean, it could just be lonely, but I listen to a lot of true crime, and I just can't trust something this creepy. We've seen some evidence that it was able to direct Luz into calling her mother, so has it already planted a tiny seed of mind control in her brain? I don't think she's entirely compromised, but she might be susceptible to future influence without even realizing it. And was this sliver of influence also passed on to Camilla and V when Luz made contact with them? Is that what those sound effects were? Personally, I think that's venturing a little too far into Jacob's conspiracy theories, but it's worth thinking about. So I pass the question to y'all in the comments. What do you hear from these voices?
I heard pancaked.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more Owl House and animation videos. If you're feeling extra generous, check out our Patreon in the description. Also check out Nat's videos if you have the time. I'm Scarlet Wit, and you're watching WhitneyVision.